Good morning, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us on this Friday Eve. It's the first day of summer. I'm Nicole Nalepa.
And the first day of travelers. A lot going on today, but we also are in a back-to-back first alert weather day situation as the temperatures are going to once again be crazy hot. So let's begin by chatting with Scott about this forecast. And Scott, yeah, this is going to be pretty disgusting out there, huh?
That's the way to put it. It's going to be gross out there. It's not only is it the first day of summer, but it will be the hottest day of the year. It has the potential to be the hottest day since in the 1960s. Yeah, this is, if we reach 100 today, which would just be unbelievable, it would be the hottest day we've seen in, what, 60 years. So we have our first alert weather day for the heat, certainly today, but for tomorrow, heat as well. It will still be a very warm day, but the chance for afternoon storms begins to increase. But for today, we have a heat advisory through tomorrow evening for inland counties. Right along the shoreline, there's some relief, but it still is very warm down there. Our temperature trend throughout the next couple of days, stifling hot, very hot, less hot, and then by Sunday it's hot again. This 90s really stick around. We have an air quality alert too for some poor issues. If you have any breathing problems, certainly not wanting to be outside later today. Temperatures, they're climbing through the 70s. They make a run, especially inland, towards 100 degrees. That's not something you hear that often, especially here in Connecticut. Dew points will be on the rise as well, and we can expect near 90 degrees by noon. We do have the threat for storms on the way, though. We'll talk more about that coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, let's get you a check on those roads. Hi.
Hey.
Hi. Good morning, everybody. If you are getting ready to head out the door here, heading to work, maybe you're making plans to go to the TPC River Highlands in Cromwell for the Travelers Tournament. Play gets underway in just a couple of hours here. Majority, or I should say, actually about less than an hour. 91, 84, and 95, looking fairly typical. 95 southbound, New Haven to the George Washington Bridge, 105-minute ride time there. The Parkway is more substantially backing up at this point, and but we're crash and incident free at this time, which is good news as you're heading out the door. It's going to be very, very hot once again today, so please make sure that you are staying hydrated. Get the AC going in your car. No people, no pets left in those vehicles. Things are slowing down along 91 southbound as traffic is merging onto 84, slowing down in Middletown along Route 9. Moving along, though, here in Waterbury, 84 east and westbound, and same story here in Meriden, 691 east and westbound. I'm Caitlin Francis with your Connecticut Chevy First Alert Traffic Report, driven by your Connecticut Chevy dealers.
Caitlin, thank you. 7:33 now, and we continue to track that breaking news in Hartford, where police are investigating a deadly hit-and-run crash, and we've just learned the identity of the person who was killed.
Yeah, Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Luke Hydash is standing by now with a little bit of that new information from officials. Luke, what can you tell us?
Nicole, Roger, police have identified that woman as 40-year-old Lutricia Daniels. She's from Chicopee, Massachusetts. What she was doing here on Main Street, police don't exactly know. They're still piecing together a lot of this. As you can see, Main Street behind me here is back open this morning. It was shut down for the better part of the morning commute and the overnight hours as police were investigating that deadly hit and run, which happened shortly before midnight. As far as the suspect in all of this, well, police are still looking for that person or persons. The suspect vehicle was a red Honda. It was found torched on the side of the highway just before exit 2 on 384 eastbound. That's over in the Manchester area that way, in between exits 2 and 4, I should say. That's what police told us a little bit earlier this morning when they gave us an update about trying to track down this suspect.
They did attempt a canine track, so that is clearly going to be our top priority, is locating the operator of the vehicle.
Police do say that they were able to capture this video, capture this incident on video that was able to give them some clues as to where that car would be. As far as anybody with information about this, they should call Hartford Police. We're live in Hartford. Luke Hydash, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
All right, thanks, Luke. We've been busy trying to make calls to get you an update from police after 2 people were found dead inside of a home on Hell Hollow Road in Voluntown, which is located not too far from the Rhode Island border. A woman dialed 911 yesterday, only telling the dispatcher emergency, the address, and sorry. Now, when officers arrived at the home, they found a man dead right in the driveway. Neighbors were told to shelter in place until the woman was found dead in the home later in the afternoon. And right now, we are working to learn their names and how they died.
And this morning, police in East Hartford are trying to track down a driver who they say ran over a man who was riding a scooter and then just took off. That hit-and-run crash happened on Silver Lane last night. Crews rushed the victim to the hospital, but we're happy to tell you he is expected to survive. Police tell us they are looking for the driver of a gray sedan. Any eyewitnesses should contact police right away. And the Supreme Court is set to go on recess in just a few days, but now the White House is bracing for a ruling in another historic abortion case. The justices are considering whether doctors can provide emergency abortions in states where the procedure is banned. Now, the Biden administration is actually suing Idaho in the case, and they argue that federal law requires a state to allow an abortion if it's needed to stabilize a patient. Idaho government leaders, though, say the White House is trying to retrofit the law to create a nationwide abortion mandate in hospital emergency rooms.
Russia and North Korea are bolstering support for each other this morning. Russian President Vladimir Putin and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un signed an agreement to help each other in the event of aggression against their countries. Details of the pact haven't been made public, but we know that this all comes as Putin seeks more military hardware for his invasion of Ukraine. Well, the first round of the Travelers Championship will be teeing off in a little less than a half an hour this morning in Cromwell. Pro golfers and spectators will be braving the baking sun out on the greens.
Now, luckily, the organizers do tell us they are prepared with a whole bunch of medical staff on hand, ready to jump in when needed.
Obviously, it's going to be really hot this week. Keep in mind the signs and symptoms of heat-related illness. So anything from really hot red skin, excessive sweating, nausea, vomiting, dizziness, confusion.
If you're headed to the TPC River Highlands today, and if you experience any of those symptoms, just look out for the support staff in these gold shirts you see here. There are also plenty of stations to fill up a water bottle so you can stay hydrated.
Now, of course, even though the Travelers Championship is best known for bringing some of the world's top golfers to our state, the tournament also focuses quite a bit on charity. Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Marcy Jones is live at TPC River Highlands right now to break down how much money the tournament has actually given back over the years. And we're talking major moolah, right, Marcy?
We are. Good morning, Roger and Nicole. Well, the folks here at Travelers Championship over the years have donated tens of millions of dollars right here to the community to great local causes, sending the message that they care deeply about everybody here who have embraced them for the last few decades. Now, this year, it comes in the form of a brand new canine going to Cromwell Police Department with a $10,000 check that will bring in this trained dog. After years of dedicated service with Cromwell Police Department, their current canine, Bane, will retire at the end of the year. Now, last year, Travelers donated $3 million to charity. In total, they have given back to more than 180 charities. And since 1952, $52 million has been donated to philanthropic causes.
This is a massive project, right, for so many people, and having public safety here in Cromwell PD, I mean, it's a weight on the town from a public safety standpoint, but they are just unbelievable supportive. So it's the least we can do.
Now, the new canine will make his debut in early 2025, and we can't wait to meet him. Good. Sending it back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you, Marcy. The time right now, 7:38. We have the tournament starting in about 22 minutes. Tee off then. But right now, temperatures, they're climbing through the 70s and expecting near 90 along the shoreline today, near 100 for inland areas. Here's a live look in Mystic. You notice that paddle border there, getting out on the water on this beautiful start to the day. It certainly is on the warmer side, though. New London, a lot of people lining up for the ferry, certainly heading somewhere that is a bit cooler. If you're out towards any of the islands, temperatures held back into the 80s. You can see our future cast in terms of temperatures with the heat and humidity combined up and over 100 degrees. This is not a map you see in Connecticut very often. It certainly has been quite some time since we've seen heat like this. Now, our first alert weather day is for the heat today. Tomorrow, it's for some storms. We do have the slightest chance towards the north today, but for tomorrow, everybody gets into it. You notice that marginal risk for the entire state. Our future cast will show those threat of storms later today, staying farther north. But by the time we get to Friday, that's when you notice more widespread showers and storms do affect the area, which will cool off our temperatures, but come with the possibility of lightning, wind, and some storms. We'll have the very latest on what to expect this upcoming weekend. That's all that in just a few minutes. Good morning, Caitlin.
Hey, good morning, Scott. Good morning, everybody. Let's get you a check over at the airports. If you're heading out the door right now to catch a flight, everything at Tweed, New Haven on time. If you're flying in Valley, you should have no problems there. Now, if you're heading to Bradley International Airport, majority of the flights in the flight board look like they are on schedule. No cancellations. However, we do have just 2 delays that have popped up. So make sure that you're checking with your air carrier to be on the safe side as you're heading out the door. And as you are getting ready to head out, again, it's going to be very, very hot. Thankfully, we don't have any crashes or road closures, no major incidents. Right now, no construction set up, but we do have some delays that are building through the capital city region, through the Middletown area, and especially down through Fairfield County. I'll get you another check on those those roads coming up in just a few. I'm Caitlin Francis with your Connecticut Chevy First Alert Traffic Report, driven by your Connecticut Chevy dealers. All right.